I'm Bill Horns. I'm calling this meeting of the Transportation Transit Commission to order. I note that we have a quorum consisting of myself, Rich Tate, Jason Strauss, and Mike Gernetsky. So we can proceed with our agenda. We have a quorum. Can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I move.
I'll second.
Is there a second? I heard a second.
Yeah, Rich seconds.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. I hear everybody's in favor. Next item on the agenda, and I assume there's nobody there, no public people wanting to speak to us this evening. The next item is a report from department.
Or do we have the minutes? Or is that later?
It brings us, Tim, to you.
Don't we have to approve the minutes?
I thank you. I guess I missed that. Give me a motion to approve the minutes
Move to approve the minutes.
from the last month's
February,
meeting.
yeah, the February 9th meeting.
I second.
Thank you. All those in favor of approving last month's minutes indicate by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, the minutes are approved. Thank you. Boy, so we are up to a report from the department, and Tim, appreciate your being here.
You're welcome. For the record, Tim Volker, Director of Public Works, City Engineer. I'll start out with just kind of a staffing update, and the transportation engineer position still remains open. We haven't received any applications since the last meeting, which was February 9th, 2023. So Tracy Foss will be the new Assistant Public Works Director. Her and I will be sitting down to kind of look over the job description for the transportation engineer and see if there's anything we can do differently, and to also post that to generate more interest. So that's something we'll be looking at internally here in the next couple weeks. As far as projects go, last night we had a public information meeting on the Sain Road reconstruction project that was held at the fire station number 3 last night at 6:30 p.m. We had a good turnout, about 20 to 30 residents, I'd say. Really, the meeting was just to kind of bring everyone up to speed on the project. Phase 1 is looking to go back under construction at the beginning of April here. And then phase 2 and 3, we're at about 30% design. And, we basically talked about what's been incorporated into the project, the safety improvements, pedestrian and bicycle improvements, along with kind of the upcoming schedule and anticipated starts for both phase 2 and 3. And then lastly, we received bids on the Lacey Road reconstruction project. We opened bids February 28th, which was last week Tuesday, and the low bid came in at $8.1 million for Parisi Construction. So we're looking to have that awarded at a Common Council meeting in April, with construction to start subsequent to that. Does anyone have any questions? Yes.
Gabriella.
Yeah, so in regards to the Lacey Road, can you recall what the budget for that road project is? Are we far above or below or on track?
As far as the engineer's cost estimate for construction was at $10.5 million, so bids came in considerably lower, and they also compared it to some other projects they're working on for other municipalities, and the city got a really good price. Parisi's part of Payne and Dolan, and they have that quarry right off Lacey Road, so that contributed to the low cost of the project, just that the contractor's already really essentially right there for the project.
Hey, Tim, can you also clarify that this was for both Lacey Road and the roundabout?
Yes, thank you. So the city at one time had the design for Lacey Road from Fitchburg all the way to Seminole Highway, designed by, I believe, Promega was doing that and then handed it off to the city. And the city undertook the design of the roundabout at Seminole Highway and Lacey. So this project, it kind of combined both projects into one, so it'll be constructed all at one time this summer when school's out, ideally.
All right. Okay. Any other questions about that item? Did you have any other updates? One other thing that I wanted to clarify or just remind people during your report is this issue about the bus stops on PD, and I know there was a response to that, but there was a little bit of confusion, I think, of communication of what the upshot of it is. So maybe you could just recap where that is.
Yeah, so I guess with regards to the bus stops along PD, originally it was for Route 75, and 75's remaining unchanged with the redesign that's coming up in June by Madison Metro. There are some bus stops. So I talked to Madison Metro this afternoon, and there are bus stops it's Route 59. It's a weekend-only route and a weekday limited route. So what's going away on McKee is the weekend-only stops for Route 59. But
Okay.
I-75 will remain unchanged along McKee.
So does that mean that they would just remove the numbers from the signs, the same stops?
Exactly. So as part of the redesign, you'll be seeing new signs at each of the bus stops. From what I understand, kind of the logo's changing and maybe the color too. And then obviously the new routes will be updated as well.
I have one other question, if that's okay.
Sure.
Did you get any update about them, about the outreach efforts, about notifying people that the routes are going away? And if one of my main questions is what kind of advertising are they doing on the buses themselves to communicate to, especially the lines that are completely being eliminated?
Yeah, as far as when I talked to them, they had public hearings, I guess, in each of the communities, which Fitchburg happened back on May 24th, 2022 at the Common Council meeting. It was presented in the transit and transportation plan, kind of the amendments. But yeah, as far as what they're doing now, that they'll have updated maps. I think they're still working on that though. But they'll be coming out shortly is what I understand. And we're trying to get a presentation set up here either at a committee of the whole meeting or a upcoming Common Council meeting by Madison Metro to kind of go over, the final routes that they determine. So, look for that. Hopefully, we're shooting for April to present that, have them come in and kind of give a presentation on exactly what's changing for the city of Fitchburg come June for their redesign.
Okay. I'd love to continue getting updates on that.
Absolutely.
I'm definitely concerned about people knowing it. And I know that maybe we should consider having that information available at other city meetings where we're involving the public. Like, I know the police department has been doing meetings in individual neighborhoods, and if we can piggyback off of that work that's already being done to get people out from the community there, maybe we can also just make sure that there's information about the bus route changes at the same time.
Okay.
Throw out there as something to consider.
Your concerns about generally the whole city, routes all over the city and how they're changing.
Yeah, I'm just concerned about people not knowing that the changes are coming and that they're gonna hit June and suddenly things are different and they have obviously as the bus signs change, hopefully that will, be a first indication that something is happening. I'd hate that to be the first way people find out, so, but.
I would have thought, and clarify for me, is Metro putting out information on the buses to current riders? I don't know.
I believe so. I believe they have stuff printed on the buses, but I can confirm that with them.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Thank you. any other items on the report from the department? Tim?
Nothing more from me.
Just a quick question. There's a position you're trying to fill, would be our contact instead of directly to you?
What was that?
With you were describing an unfilled position that you were working on, transportation engineer, I can't remember the title. Is that the person that would be our commission direct contact once that's filled?
Yeah, typically the transportation engineer position is the one that is the staff member that attended these committee meetings. So
Yeah.
kind of the intent is to kind of keep that. In the meantime, I'll be the face for you.
Okay, all right, thank you.
You're welcome.
I guess the next item I see on the agenda is announcements, and one announcement.
Bill, I got a question about the Sain Road project. Can you recap where the crosswalks are?
Yes, so at each of the intersections, there's crosswalks, and then there's also 2 mid-block crosswalks proposed. I believe one in phase 2, actually both in phase 2, and I think there may be a third going under construction in phase 1. So the phase 2 mid-block crosswalks, one is south of Nine Bark, and then one is north of Argus, kind of just south of fire station number 3 on that hill. And that hill's
Right next to the McCoy house or further north?
just north of the McCoy house. That's the historical house.
Right.
Yes, yep, just north of Argus there.
Do you know how far north?
No, not the exact location.
Because I know I live in that neighborhood, and some of the people have come up to me and said, like, hey, where that middle school principal was killed, people cross right there all the time, and they've been asking me if a crosswalk is going to go in there or if it's going to be further north.
It's right there. It's a little north of the intersection, just because on the west side of Sain, there's large oak trees and an MG&E pole there that needs to be relocated if we were to tie in there. So we proposed it just north of the pole that's right at that intersection. So it's, like I said, the exact length I don't know. Without.
Would it be south of the fire station?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
And the exact location, we want to keep it as close to that intersection for that reason. However, just the constraints on the west side, we have to kind of work around. So if we can get MG&E to move that pole, we can put it closer to the intersection. So there's some coordination during the design to see if that's even an option.
I think if it's south of the fire station, that should be sufficient. And that hill's going to be lowered a little bit too, correct?
Yeah, so right now the hill is proposed, I believe, to be cut about a foot off, which will help with the sight distance significantly.
Okay. Were there any other questions for Tim about his report? Seeing none, we're up to announcements. And the one announcement is that unfortunately this is Jason's last meeting. So I'm on my own now. Nobody's going to be there to tell me what I'm doing when I start these meetings. But anyway, Jason, thank you for your service here, helping us out. I don't know, have you spoken? You said you expect a replacement appointed in April.
I emailed Aaron Richardson and said, hey, my term is up. And although I've really enjoyed doing this, it's just difficult with 3 little kids. And even tonight, my babysitter's got to leave early because of the snow. So maybe in the future, but I'm going to take at least one term off here.
All right, well.
So hopefully the new mayor will be able to appoint someone by April.
Pretty quick, yeah, good. So thanks for putting in the time.
Thank you so much,
Yeah,
Jason.
thanks.
No, thank
Thank
you
you.
guys.
Well, that's all the items we have on the agenda. Can we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved?
I'll second.
We have motion second, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, this meeting is adjourned, and thank you all for being here on this bad night with a slim agenda.
Sorry I was late. We had a council meeting that